All right, live in Studio B, Alex Krug combo. That was Divers from Gentle Spotted Giants, right? That was a 2015 release, if I remember right. Great tune.
It was.
Great.
Thank you so much.
And a great EP. I was thinking while you were singing, I was like, oh, that voice, you know? And it's like some of the descriptions I've read that people have written kind of describing your voice, I kind of find them inadequate. But they try. They try to capture describing your voice, but very cool, very cool.
I try and have fun.
Welcome to Studio B.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. It's a real privilege to be here. I think WNCW.
First time or not the first time?
First time in Studio B. I've done some stuff with Local Color.
Right. Well, cool. Glad to have you here in Studio B. And, of course, you all are getting ready to release a new EP, which is titled Sleeping on the Woodlands.
Yeah, Sleeping on the Woodlands.
Yeah. And you're not from Asheville. I mean, you all are out of Asheville now, but you're not a native Ashevillean, are you, Alex?
No, I definitely call it home. I've been here like 12 years, but I'm from Maryland.
Okay. Yeah, I read in your bio that you kind of grew up in Maryland and spent a lot of time with the music before you even officially became a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, I was actually I was a drummer in some bands, but I was like, in my room alone writing music that my sister got to hear it, and she was incredibly encouraging. And then my cousins, because I lived in the country, and my cousins and sister and neighbors were my friends, and they were all very encouraging. And so eventually, I went through several bands as a drummer, and as bands do, they break up, and eventually I started my first band, which was with my cousins.
That happens a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, you got a musical family. It just seems natural, right?
Yeah.
So was the drums after? I think you had a keyboard early on, right? That you kind of, one of your first things was a keyboard?
Oh, that was my cousin Ange. She played the keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played piano, but not in any of my bands.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have your full band's going to be at Ambrose West on Sunday, right?
Yes, and I love them.
Yeah, you have.
They're my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you have two of these fellas here with you today. Zach Page on the double bass over there, and Bill Berg back on the skins. Welcome, fellas. They're stretching for the microphones. But,
yeah, we're all wired up here for outer space.
Well, I guess we should recognize the rest of the players who will be with you on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll have Kyle Samples on electric guitar, Jackson Delaney on lap steel, Isabel Castelvi on cello, and who will not be joining us, but who I miss so much, is Rachel Gramig on harmony. She was not able to make it. She's out in Denver now, and we still gig together, but this show she couldn't make it.
Well, you guys, that harmony magic is there, isn't it?
Yeah, I know you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but there's something really special that happens when you're right next to someone and they're harmonizing, and there's this frequency things that happens in your ears that's like crazy, and there's nothing else on earth that I've experienced that's like it. Right.
And really, probably it's only a small number of people, relatively speaking, that you get that, that synchronization or that symmetry with your harmony. So I guess you do miss her when she's not here. In addition to being a friend, I guess,
Yeah, and Julian and Michael, our producer, Michael Selvern, and engineer, Julian Dreyer from Echo, they pulled up the frequencies of our voice, Rachel and I's voices, on the computer screen, whatever that is. And they said mathematically our voices go together, whatever. Like they could see it in the peaks and valleys of the frequencies.
Pretty amazing, that technology.
I didn't know what that meant, but I thought it was cool.
They put into technology what you just feel in your head. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Alex Krug with us here in Studio B. You got another song, I'm sure, that you want to do for us.
Yeah, this one's from the upcoming EP. It's called Arguing Wings.
Alex Krug combo here in Studio B with Arguing Wings on the new EP, Sleeping on the Woodlands. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
What was, I know this is such a cliche question these days for radio guys. What is inspiration for that song? Yeah.
Well, thank you for asking so many of us those questions.
Well, we want to really know.
I was sitting on the back porch and I was upset and angry. Yeah. So yeah, a little upset and angry, and my dog helps. My dog helps me. Well, he passed away this summer, but he was a very helpful guy and always a reminder to calm down. I mean, not all dogs are that calm, but I'm talking myself into a hole here. But anyway, it's about arguing and feeling contemptuous and about how dogs remind us of things. I guess different dogs remind us of different things, but my dog was a reminder to not feel bad about feeling bad, maybe. Like when they eat the compost pile and then they're uncomfortable later, they don't feel bad about being uncomfortable, even though they just ate the compost pile and are bloated. They just like, yeah, I did that, and I'm happy about it. Not that I'm happy about being angry, but it's better to not feel bad about feeling bad. It's better to just move on. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now.
You're saying that the dogs just kind of deal and move on, right? It's like
Yes.
they don't grouse about it or sit around worrying about everything. They just do it. Just go on. You're right. And that's how they bring us so much solace, I believe. I think that's one way they do that. So, oh, wow. It's always a different answer. I love asking that question. And I guess to us radio folks, sometimes we feel like it gets to be a tired question. But I think every artist, most artists, not every, but most, want to talk about, how they came with that song, what the idea for the song was or what the inspiration was. So, thus the question. But anyway, the other thing I was going to ask you about, you came to Asheville like, 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
And when you first came, you didn't do any music for a little while.
Yeah, I was working in wilderness therapy, so I was working 8 days on, 6 days off, and my days off I would write music in my room, but I did a lot of sleeping and hanging out with friends and recuperating from 8 16-hour days.
Heck yeah.
So
well, that
there was a lot of hanging out at Jack of the Wood and those kind of things too.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And wilderness therapy, for someone who might not be familiar with that does what?
It's a intervention form of therapy for usually teenagers who are, it could be for a variety of things, but they're having some kind of emotional issues, and it kind of takes you out of your environment and puts you outdoors with a group of peers, and you just get to get out of your situation and have a lot of support and have space to figure out what you need to figure out without a lot of distractions.
Cool.
And a lot of support, both from peers and staff. But
living in Asheville, it's hard not to be pulled back to the music, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and actually, so Hannah Kaminer on Sunday is opening our show for us, and I used to host the Brown Bag songwriting competition in Asheville. Hannah and I worked together in the woods, guiding, and then I didn't even know she wrote music. And then I was hosting the Brown Bag, and she showed up one day, and she won the whole thing. Like, she is one of the most talented songwriters in Asheville, maybe in Western North Carolina, and very humble. But she just, like, came, sang, and everyone got goosebumps. All the judges voted for her, but I worked with a lot of creative people there because I think a lot of creative people spend time outside and spend time, kind of in alternative environments. So not only her, but there's a bunch of poets and writers and painters and that in Asheville and that have also moved who I worked with when I worked in wilderness therapy. So
Kind of a close family, I think, around Asheville, don't you think? For the musical family, the arts family there, it's been like that for a pretty long time.
it's very special to be in music here. It's not as pretentious as other places, and I really feel like we genuinely want each other to succeed and support each other in whatever way we feel we should.
Yeah, Hannah, we're proud to call her friend of this radio station as well, and it's not unusual to hear her music here either. So,
Yay.
I always love having members of the Asheville music family here in Studio B. So it's great for you guys to be here today. Are we going to do another song from the new record?
Yeah.
I said record, and you know what? I read that when you were early on, when you were growing up in Maryland, that you listened to records on a record. Is that accurate?
Yeah, as a 3 and 4-year-old, I had a record player in my room because my mom liked to sleep in, and because I think I had maybe afternoon kindergarten or whatever, or pre whatever. I don't even. But my mom wanted to sleep in, so she put a record player in my room with her old records and some Winnie the Pooh stories, and so I was definitely entertained until she woke up.
I was just thinking, though, when it said record player, I'm thinking, this is a young person, but she must have had, parents that had records and things because, a lot of folks your age, they may be getting into it now with the resurgence of vinyl, but when they were growing up, it was like records just weren't a thing.
Yeah. It really is making a comeback in hi-fi circles though, which is really cool. I have a lot of friends that have quite the collections. So
dig it.
Yeah.
Alex Krug and her combo here in Studio B. Another song from the new EP, you say, maybe? Or
well, we had one from the old one. Is that okay?
That's fine.
And then yeah.
Anything you guys want to play?
We wanted to mix it up.
There you go.
Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is called Touhey. That was my magical interlude.
Live here in Studio B at WNCW, Alex Krug. And part of her combo, Bill Berg back there on drums and Zach Page on the doghouse bass over here. Song called Touhey, a beautiful song.
Thanks.
From Gentle Spotted Giant, right?
That's from Gentle Spotted Giants, yeah.
Yes, the 2015 EP. And today we're also talking about the new EP, which is to be released next week, and you're having a release party on Sunday for Sleeping on the Woodlands.
Yeah, I've never been so proud of an album, and we're going to really celebrate it on Saturday.
Sunday?
Yes.
I had the 15th. I just want to make sure I was right.
You're right. I'm nervous.
Oh.
No, you're right. It's totally Sunday.
At Ambrose West in West Asheville. And do you know what? I didn't have the time that it started.
Doors are at 7 and then shows at 8.
Okay. Sounds cool. Great way to spend a Sunday evening, I would say.
Absolutely. We wanted to do it on Sunday night and a little earlier of a show at 8 just so people can chill.
There you go. Let's, while I'm thinking about it, make sure that folks know how to get in touch with y'all, to follow you, whatever your media presence out there, social media and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it makes a lot of difference if you like us, because this is how the world works now, for better or for worse. Yeah, on Spotify, we're Alex Krug Combo, and following us there makes a big difference. And we like Instagram at Alex Krug Combo.
Yeah. And you
So-
have a Facebook presence as well, I think, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And of course, a website. Everybody still has a website, right?
Yes, we have a website, alexkrugmusic.com.
That's what I thought. But I didn't want to mess it up. I wanted you to.
No, thanks for passing it over here. I'm bound to mess it up, but
No.
I'll give it a good try.
You got it right. And I was thinking the right thing, which is amazing. No senior moment there. Had it right. So great. But the great thing to remember is Sleeping on the Woodlands, the new EP. And it's coming out officially released in what?
9/19/19, which is a palindrome.
That's right.
So
That's
want
right.
to have fun with that.
Sure. It's a week from today, in case you're keeping track. And and the release party, we were talking about Sunday at Ambrose West.
Yeah, and can I just give a quick shout out to
Please.
all our Indiegogo backers who will be getting the album before everyone else, either today or tomorrow, in their email box. Thanks, y'all. You made this happen.
Well, all right. Super. I read about that, and I wondered if you'd want to say something about that. So cool.
Thanks.
One more song before we go?
Yeah, we've got Woodlands. This is the single, and it is on Spotify right now. So.
Okay. You're listening to Alex Krug Combo live in Studio B here on WNCW Woodlands. And, of course, that's where the new EP takes its name from, that song there. Am I correct in that?
You have come up with the correct
I didn't
assumption.
want to be assumptive or presumptive. Anyway, now, Sleeping on the Woodlands is the name of the new EP. Sunday, Ambrose West Asheville is the EP release, the album release party. So, best
Thanks
of luck
so
with
much
Best-
for talking today.
Well, thank y'all for coming in, Bill, Zach. Thank you all, and best of luck with the new record and with the release party this Sunday. I think that's going to be a jam. So,
We're gonna have fun.
oh yeah, that's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
And get the music out there and have a good time. Come back and see us again.
All right. Thanks so much for having us, and I hope everyone out there has a great afternoon.
Thanks. You too. Alex Krug Combo here in Studio B, live Studio B sessions on WNCW, made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company.